finally live on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? It's a nice day today. It's like 80 degrees. Man, the weather here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live just fluctuates all over the place. It's hot for a while, then it gets a little chilly, and it starts to warm up again. All within a week or two. Just the way it goes. Anyway, I apologize for the late start. Just, I had I wouldn't say a rough start to my day, but I kind of slept in a little bit. I was a little disappointed at the Giants, San Francisco Giants, lost last night in what I feel was a rigged game. I'm not complaining. I've moved past it. I'm not going to whine about it. But just some things that happened in that game. The hits batsman leaning into the pitch to get hit. The check swing, that was clearly a check swing. And when appealed to the first base umpire, called him out. And on TBS, Turner Broadcasting Service, that was broadcasting the series, they replayed it so many times. And it was a check swing. A lot of people are thinking, including myself, the game was rigged because the umpires and maybe some other people involved were betting on the game in Vegas, big bucks. I'm not going to get too far into it. I just don't like what happened last night. But you know what? Time to move on. Things happen in this crazy modern world, folks, and you can sit there and try to be the goody-goody like myself and try to solve all those issues, but you know what? It never typically goes anywhere. People just get away with so much shit nowadays. Wow, that's a big plane. Wow. Right over the power lines. Barely. That must be a rebel pilot. Just whipped right over that. Oh my God. But anyway, like I said, in life, you're going to deal with many things that aren't fair. Maybe I'll do a stream on that. I'll talk about it a little bit here today, but, in life, you're going to deal with many things that aren't fair, right? And if you're a good person like myself, that typically likes to debate and argue and fight these battles, you've probably tried to fight these battles before in the past, and you never get anywhere. Because a lot of these things that are done in unfair ways or in rigged ways, it's hard to prove. And the people that do this kind of stuff are experts at covering their tracks. To the point of where if you try to fight them, they'll flip it on you and make it appear like you're the one that did the wrongdoing when it was them actually. So it's just not worth it, folks. We chalk it up to a loss. And we had a great season. Giants won 107 games, Dodgers 106. Because of the wild card, they ended up playing each other in the first round, the divisional series, and it was a good series. It was a good series. It was just, I think it was rigged. Today, I get my flu shot this morning, says Lewis. Hey, Lewis. Thanks for the topic, Queen. All pro sports are rigged. Too much money on the line. Says, hey, Sifu Smo, Dion, how you doing, bro? Great to see you here. It was rigged, Eli. I agree. Did you watch the game, Dion? Dion, that last pitch was a check swing. I mean, you couldn't have had a check swing any more clearer than that. Stevie Wonder could have seen that was a check swing. Okay? And they're going to be talking about that one for a while. But nowadays, in this modern world, which I'll be discussing here today, people just do stuff like that because it causes drama, and drama gets attention. It just seems like this modern world is heading towards becoming one big drama shit show. And the winner is going to be who is the biggest drama shit disturber. That's the way it looks like, right? And who can monetize it the best, right? Who can get all eyes on them or their platform by disturbing the shit drama-wise more than anyone else. And then once you have all those people there, the sponsors will come. Oh, you've got 10 million people active watching your show every day. We want to sponsor your shit. It's all about money and the sponsors, folks. That's what it all boils down to. Now, let me get right to it because as part of the topic, I'm going to be discussing something that happened the other day. That just really, really irks me. I'm not triggered, but this is just going to more so show what I mean about where the world is turning and how you folks can best handle this, right? So, give me a second here. Let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose Live Edition, live from the SF Bay Trail in Redwood City. This is episode number 154. And the topic today is learn to adapt to the modern world. Stop failures and succeed at everything. One more time. Learn to adapt to the modern world. Stop failures and succeed at everything. One of the main reasons why most, if not all, people nowadays fail at whatever they try to accomplish is because they have not learned to adapt to the modern world. There are even some people that still don't have a smartphone or a cell phone, right? And even though most phones in the office or homes now that are non-cellular phones are VoIP, which is short for voice over internet protocol, they're digital phones that work off your internet, some people still have a traditional plain old telephone service. They call it POTS. Plain old telephone service over the copper wire. So there are many people that haven't even upgraded their phones yet. They're living in the past, right? But there are other aspects. And I'm going to talk about one aspect here right now as an example regarding something I saw a video on yesterday from one of my favorite channels I watch called The Quartering, run by a guy named Jeremy. He has over 1 million subscribers. And Quinn Helen Casey, I saw you made a posting on this as well I want to talk about Dr. Sanjay Gupta's long interview on Joe Rogan's Spotify show. And this, folks, is going to give you an idea, if you listen to and understand what I say here today. This, folks, is going to give you an idea of where the world is heading, because it's been heading there for a while, and it seems like anyone that has any level of success, especially online, or even in the mainstream media nowadays, practically has to do the stupid stuff that happened on that Joe Rogan show the other day when he had CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta, MD. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened on that show. I did not watch the entire show. I am not a member of Spotify. I don't pay for it. But there are clips available all over the internet, and I was able to catch parts of it. And basically, Joe Rogan was trying to get Dr. Sanjay Gupta to admit that the majority of news on CNN is fake news, right? And throughout that interview, Joe Rogan kept on cutting off Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and Dr. Sanjay Gupta kept his cool. And in my opinion, Joe Rogan was being a typical jerk. You want my opinion on Joe Rogan? I can't stand him. I can't stand anyone that treats people the way he does. And he does things in this way because it stirs up the pot, it creates drama, and it gets all eyes on him. That's why he's getting paid $100 million over, 10 years to do his show on Spotify? And he practically has freedom of reign to do whatever he wants. He couldn't do this on YouTube, I'll tell you that. He'd be removed. Rightfully so. Give me a second here. Queen, listen. Every single media outlet, online and in the mainstream media, has done some things to get ratings. What CNN is doing, Queen, is no different than what Joe Rogan is doing. So if we're going to sit here and we're going to bash CNN for creating fake news, right? And we're going to bring their chief medical correspondent to talk about other things on the show, but while he's there, on the Joe Rogan show, while he's there, we're going to ambush a very well-respected and well-known doctor, Sanjay Gupta. If we're going to ambush him and question him on CNN doing the same things that Joe Rogan's doing, that's very hypocritical. Joe Rogan, you're a hypocrite. You are. You are, Joe Rogan. You're a hypocrite. That's my opinion. I'm not bashing you. I'm stating my opinion on the type of person that I feel you are. Queen, everybody does that. Listen, Queen, I'm sick and tired of people saying that, okay, the mainstream media news is fake and alternative news is the real deal. No. Everybody nowadays is fabricating a lot of crap because that's what gets them the traction, Queen. That's what gets them the sponsors, and that's what makes them the money. That's what gets people to tune in. It's all fabricated, Queen. Not all, but a lot of it is, right? I'm not disagreeing that a lot of things are fabricated in the mainstream media. But I'm also not going to come out here and say that these alt-right media, creators or these alt-right news reporters are 100% right. No, they fabricate shit too. They do. Quite frankly, in my opinion, I feel people like Joe Rogan and the alt-right mainstream media, the alt-right alternative media, and the conservative alt-right news media fabricates things even more than CNN and Fox do. That's my opinion, right? Why do they do it, Queen? Because it gets people to talk about it. It gets people to engage. It gets people like you and I to talk about it. It gets you to share it all over Twitter. And the more you share their stuff, the more it gets out there, the more they're getting what they want from you and from me. This is what you folks are not understanding, right? Now, granted, Dr. Sanjay Gupta did not have to go on the Joe Rogan show last night, but he chose to go on there. Not last night, a couple nights ago. I think it was a couple nights ago. So why did he choose to go on there knowing that it could affect his future with CNN, depending on how he handles that interview, right? You want my honest opinion? I think CNN encouraged him to go on there. And I think CNN said, doctor, say whatever you got to say. You know, if you have to go on there and say that we do put out some fake news stories, then go ahead and say that. Whether it's true or not, because what's going to happen? You going on there is going to make people more aware of you. And where's your home, Dr. Sanjay Gupta? It's on CNN. So where are you going to respond to all this? On CNN, right? In essence, what's happening here, folks, is something you're not seeing. What's happening here is that by Dr. Sanjay Gupta going on there and Joe Rogan putting him on the spot, asking him if most stuff on CNN is fake, what it's doing is it's cross-promoting each other. It's creating this fabricated drama shit show back and forth to build each other's ratings up. That's all this is. That's all this is. It's pathetic. It's a waste of time. It's stupid. And I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this type of content. I'm sick of this type of content ruling the internet now and getting all eyes to, drop everything else and go tune into that, right? When you have people like me that are truly trying to help people better their lives in a more positive way, and I get shit for traction because of this stupid stuff that everyone tunes into and talks about. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's stupid. But it's the way the world has gone to. Why? Because it's the most profitable. And why is it the most profitable? I'll say it again. Here in the U.S., we have over 300 million people in population, right? About a quarter of those are people that are Trump supporters, a.k.a. the alt-right, a.k.a. people that follow Joe Rogan and other conservative creators that I don't even call these creators conservative, because real conservatives don't behave like Joe Rogan and these other creators that create alt-right content and basically go against stuff like vaccines and stuff like that are saving lives. It's like you have a group of rebels out here in this world, trying to go against what's right and say it's wrong. It's stupid, right? So you have around 75 million people that are on the alt-right. They're Trump supporters. And these are the most active people on the internet. The alt-right people are more active on any given day than any other demographic. Liberals, real conservatives, independents, right? And people that aren't registered or don't belong to any party, right? The most active people on the internet are the alt-right people. And that's why I feel a lot of people have shifted their content to cater to that audience, because that's the most active audience. sometimes it leads me to believe that people like Joe Rogan, even if they don't want to talk about something, or even if they, you know, agree with something, they'll intentionally disagree with it just to stir up the pot and get ratings. It's pathetic. You want to talk about fake news? That's fake news. It's all fake for the most part. Now look, there are things on every platform, well, at least in the mainstream media. They get their stats from the CDC and Johns Hopkins University. All those stats are real stats from trustworthy, authoritative, companies or agencies. All that stuff is real, or at least, these mainstream media outlets like CNN, Fox, etc. are sharing this information based on the information they're getting from these trusted resources. But yeah, besides that, are there things that CNN has done to try to, stir up the pot and get more people to tune in? Sure, they're a business. They have to get people to tune in. They have to keep their ratings up, or none of the sponsors are going to sponsor the content. Then they're out of business, right? Same thing for Joe Rogan. He's got to get people to sign up to Spotify to pay for his $100 million salary over the next, 10 years or so, however long it is. I think it's 10 years. It's all about the money, folks. It's all about the money. If you create real, honest, authentic content like I do out here each and every day, you get shit for traction, you get shit for views, and you make shit for money. Am I a little frustrated by it? Absolutely. I can't stand it. I hate it. It's stupid. That's where the world has headed. That's where the world has headed. Boy, I just went to the restroom before I started the show. That's why I was a little bit late. I had to stop by the restroom by the parking lot, and I have to go again. I got to stop drinking coffee at least a couple hours before I do these walks, because it runs right through me. But it gives me good energy, so there's a trade-off, right? So, folks, I'm gonna go off the air here for a second, in just a few. I'm gonna use the restroom, and then I will be back. So don't go anywhere. So we all have to learn to adapt to the way things are happening in the modern world. And there's more than just this. But this is one of the main things that I've seen in the modern world that's worse now than ever before. That's why you don't see any good sitcoms on TV anymore, anything like that, because nobody wants to watch it. All people want to do is watch drama. They want to watch people share different views than the norm, different views that make no sense, right? They want to watch people beat each other up. They want to watch people talk smack about each other. They want to see men and women argue and fight, right? What kind of a world are we living in? All right, I'm going to go off the air for a second. All right, folks. All right, we should be back live. Let me know if I'm back live, if you're still in the chat. Boy, so quickly people leave when you take a 2-minute break. All right, you go from like 12 people to 3. That's where people's attention spans are at nowadays. You take a 2-minute bathroom break, stick around, don't go anywhere, and everyone takes off. Go figure. Anyway, so let's continue here. So again, I'm just so sick and tired. I'll be honest with you folks. I'm so sick and tired of shows that like Joe Rogan does. I'm sick and tired of Steven Crowder type of shows. I heard Steven Crowder got a strike on his channel the other day for again violating the guidelines. See, all you guys do is push the boundaries beyond the limits because you know it's going to get all attention on you, right? You push the boundaries to get all eyes on you by doing stupid shit. And then when you get penalized by YouTube, then you start whining like a little female dog. Right. 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 I really miss the days where there was real good content on TV and when there was real good content on YouTube. I miss those days, folks. I really do. But you know what? I've had to learn to adapt to where the world is going. Not just in this aspect regarding, media and the type of content that's created nowadays, right? And the type of content that makes money. Like honestly, one of the main reasons that my channel, my business is not further ahead is because most of the people that need my help would rather sulk in their misery by watching fake stuff where people are trying to convince them it's real, right? Or like I said earlier, watching people beating each other up, okay? Talking smack about stupid things, talking smack to each other, just, endless nonsensical drama like I like to call it. I'm just really sick of it. I've had enough of it. I just wish they would shut all these people down. I wish they would just outlaw this stupid stuff. Or YouTube and social media would start to crack down harder and remove all of these people that are spreading misinformation and that are just making things up just to get the attention of everybody to sell commercials. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, preposterous. Queen says, I am here. Another thing that we need to learn to adapt to in the modern world is obviously something I talk about a lot is the modern dating world and what's really happening in the modern dating world, right? Because there are a lot of people I've noticed, especially now more so paying attention to the Reddit forums. There are a lot of people I've noticed that are misinforming other people that are desperately seeking for help with the right answer or answers to things, right? And later on today, this afternoon, after this stream ends, I'm going to go home and I'm going to grab something to eat and go home, eat, and then I'm going to record a video from the studio regarding a Reddit posting I saw. I believe it's from the subreddit Dating Over 30 or something like that. And it's a woman that recently went on a date with a guy. And some things happened on the date. And she wanted to ask the audience, is he moving too fast or am I traumatized? Is he moving too fast or am I traumatized? And you folks know that have been following me for a while that when you first meet with someone on a date, within 3 seconds of seeing each other, you're either going to feel a large rush or spark of sexual attraction, or you're not. If it's there, that's where it starts. If it's not there, that's where it ends. No matter how much you keep trying to work past that, right? So when you have a woman coming out there and saying, is he moving too fast or am I traumatized? Well, I'll share my thoughts a little bit about this, but I'll share more what the comment sections is saying. Well, if you have to come out, ma'am, and ask if you're traumatized, I have to ask you, if you were attracted to the guy, and he's attracted to you, and he tried to kiss you, and you stopped him, when you felt that large rush of attraction, then, ma'am, you are traumatized, right? But then you have people in the comment section saying that, oh, this guy is just not patient, or he's a psycho or something, right? I'll share more about that in the video I put out later this evening, right? But what happens, right? What happens in these situations, right? People that meet online, they put on their best face, right? They have their best pictures out there, right? And even if they look the same in person, it's more about their demeanor and behavior. Because as a guy, in the past, when I was looking to find a woman, I would talk with her on the phone to kind of try to figure out, is she emotionally stable or not? Are her walls down or not, right? Because I can pretty much figure out a woman's emotional stability or instabilities after one phone call. That way, I won't waste my time meeting her, right? Well, apparently this guy that met this woman, maybe they didn't talk on the phone, or maybe they briefly talked, and even if they did, she put her best foot forward, right? Or maybe he didn't ask the right questions to try to see how emotionally stable she is, right? Folks, part of my advice, like I've always said, to be able to navigate through this modern world and adapt to this modern world, is doing a better job of pre-qualifying your dating prospects, your friendships, your business partnerships, etc. We got to do a better job nowadays of pre-qualifying people, right? And that's going to save us a lot of time by much more quickly being able to, remove these people or eliminate them. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying you want to find out if they're the right person for you as soon as possible. Are they emotionally stable enough? Are they in a good place to date? Are they truly ready for something, or are they just seeking attention, or are they just looking for a male therapist, right? There are lots of women out there, and even men do this too, but more so women do this. They will put themselves out back on online dating, even when they're still married, but they're legally separated, right? I'm legally separated. I just got out of a divorce, right? And they say they're ready to move on, right? But are they really ready to move on? Or are they still holding on to some of that resentment? Have they worked through their issues? If you have a phone call with them, you can, ask the right questions and find that out before even investing time to meet them in person, right? But again, sometimes, people can, hide, the position, the state of mind they're in over the phone, but then they see you in person and That's when you're physically in front of each other. And one of the most important things for both men and women on a first date, in order to get to a second date, there has to be some type of physical affection on that first date. If there isn't any, it's just not going to go anywhere, right? Because remember, like I said, we all know within 3 seconds of seeing each other on a first date, both the man and the woman know if there's that large rush or spark of sexual attraction or not. And if that large rush or spark of sexual attraction is there, typically the woman's going to feel, oh man, God, he's a good looking guy, good guy, talk to him online. I hope he makes a move on me before the end of the date. Maybe I should give him some signs. A healthy woman that's really into you is gonna try to help you by maybe sitting close to you, next to you, maybe like rubbing your shoulder or patting you on the back. Women that like you are gonna help you, and they're gonna find a way to touch you in some way, shape, or form to let you know, I'm really feeling this. What are you gonna do about it, right? And then you as a man need to, give her a hug and a kiss by the end of the date. And who knows, in some cases it may go further. If not, it'll go further the second date. But if that's not happening on the first date, I'm not saying you have to sleep with someone. If that's not happening on the first date, it just wasn't meant to be. Or the man or the woman, usually it's the woman in this situation, is not in a good place to date, is guarded, and has issues, right? That she still needs to work through. Probably a little bit jaded, right? It happens to all of us. But then you have people online that read these stories and tell women like this that, oh, he was just a jerk and he was just trying too hard. He was just pushing. No, this guy wasn't trying too hard at all. He was just being his natural self. He had his guard down and he was in a good place to meet someone. It's just that you, ma'am, were not in a good place, right? This is part of learning to adapt to how things are in the modern world. Come over here. There's some guy coming. He's probably going to go on the observation deck, so I'm not going to go up there today. I'm just going to sit out here. It's just a nice day. Perfect day for a walk. Perfect day. We also have to learn to adapt to the pace the modern world is moving at. I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. A lot of people feel that many things in the modern world are moving, at too fast of a pace, and I agree with that. But we have to learn to adapt to the pace that it's moving at least initially. And I'm going to explain more about that on my way back. I just shared your stream out. Thank you, Lewis. Yes, here in Texas, it is a lot cooler than it has been. Okay, that's cool, Lewis. Thank you for the thumbs up, folks. Please thumb this stream up. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and that way you folks won't miss anything. Lots more content coming to the Coach Eli, Elias Melas channel on YouTube. Also, folks, while I have this moment here, if you already haven't done so, please Go and join my new subreddit group I started a little less than a month ago. It's called the Real Emotional Support Group for Men and Women at r/real emotional support or reddit.com/r/real emotional support. The link is a couple lines down in the description. And we truly, truly help men and women with anything they're struggling with in that group. I'm very active in that group, and so are some of my other moderators. I still would like to get more of my moderators there, but I know some of you are just stubborn or you just don't want to do it, and all I can do is keep trying. But we've got 21 members in that group so far, and it's kind of stagnated in growth. I want to kind of start pumping it up again, and I've had other things to do at the same time lately, so I haven't focused as much energy into it as I initially did to get those first 21 people. So I got to find some more time, maybe over the weekend, to get in that group and go into some other Reddit groups and do some cross-posting and try to bring in some more people. But one of the main ways I promote these things is through this YouTube channel, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my Twitter. I'll share those things out. Again, looks like a woman's going to be coming up here too, so I'm going to move off to the side and just show you some scenery. The woman just turned around, didn't come up the observation deck. That's cool. I have this observation deck to myself, at least for a little bit. Oops, I just moved my selfie stick for a second. All right, we're good. So yeah, we live in a very, very fast-paced world. That's another thing that I don't like, and many other people don't like. I don't really think anyone really likes the fact that we live in a fast-paced world. But it is fast-paced, and I'll explain why on the way back. And I'll also explain that you can actually slow it down after a certain point. But we all have to learn to adapt that initially it's going to be fast-paced with whoever we encounter. I'll explain why in a second. Because people nowadays we have so many more options. People are very, very quick to judge regarding every aspect of life. Dating, regarding our business lives, regarding our friends, right? We all have very, very short attention spans. So we've got to, I'll just say it now from the observation deck, we've got to, get our message through to whoever we're trying to get it through as quickly as possible, but in an effective way as well. You don't want to come off like you're, just trying to get back to someone real quick and not make them feel at least somewhat special, but you also don't want to be overbearing and talk their ear off, or if you're writing to them online, write a book, right? Okay? So, we have to learn to adapt, and I've had to learn to adapt to this too, that, hey, it's a fast-paced world. Let's take dating for example purposes. In the dating world, you're swiping left and right on many apps, but even if you're on a site like Match.com or some other sites where, there is a swipe left and swipe right on those apps too. All of them have it now, but there's also a regular profile reading section, and you can send regular messages, right? On those sites. On certain sites like Match.com. And, you have to learn to understand that people are going to be very, very quick to judge based on how good your pictures are. And even if they like your pictures, people are getting lots of messages. So you want to send your initial message and get to the point within a couple sentences. You don't want to sit there and write 3 or 4 paragraphs because that might overwhelm somebody. Now, at what point do you slow it down? After the initial contact, okay? So these are my thoughts regarding the fast-paced world, and why is it so fast-paced, or why does it appear so fast-paced, right? Give me a second here. And why is it important to learn to adapt, at least initially, to this fast pace? Because if you don't learn to adapt to this fast-paced world regarding everything you encounter in life initially, whether it's for business or whether it's for business or personal reasons, you're gonna get passed up. People are just not gonna talk with you. In other words, we have to learn to better communicate at the pace this world is moving, because there are way more options. That has to do with social media, smartphones, yada, yada, yada. I don't have to go there. You know why, right? So at what point do you slow it down? Because you should slow it down, right? If you start communicating with people like on a dating site, dating app, whatever, after your first message, if they get back to you with a positive message, at that point, they've shown you interest, and at that point, you can slow it down, right? And you should slow it down, okay? But I wouldn't move at such a turtle speed to the point of where you're not communicating at least regularly with this person or trying to get them on the phone or set up a date. Yes, you want to do that as quickly as possible, but it doesn't have to be like instantaneously. It doesn't have to be, okay, let's see, I messaged this woman on an app. She got back to me. She's interested. I'm going to get back to her and say, let's meet right now and hook up or hang out right now, right? Now, nothing wrong with meeting someone the same day, but that's too fast at that point. And in that situation, what I've done in the past is I'd say, hey, you seem really cool. If you're around anytime today or later today or tonight, I'd love to talk with you by phone and get to know you a little bit more. And if that goes well, then we can hang out, you know? That's how you do it. You slow it down. But initially, we need to all learn to adapt to this fast-paced world that we all live in nowadays. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people have missed so many great opportunities, personally and professionally, because you didn't know how to handle things initially, right? You got to adapt to the fast-paced world and understand that at least the first round, when you encounter people, you don't have a whole lot of time to sell yourself, figuratively speaking, not literally, obviously. It's almost kind of like we used to call it an elevator pitch in the business networking world. It's almost kind of like nowadays, regardless of where you're at, you know, you got to take into consideration that, you know, people don't have a whole lot of time to talk with you, right? For example, you know, the manager came out last night at a restaurant that I went to with the woman I'm seeing, and we were talking about the Giants and Dodgers rivalry. And at that point, the game was tied 1 apiece. And, you know, I wanted to kind of bond with him, but I knew that he didn't have a whole lot of time. So I quickly told him, I said, you know, man, I don't know how old you are. You probably look a little bit younger than me. So I'm 47. I don't know how old you are, but I used to go to the Giants-Dodger games at Candlestick Park in my younger days, and it was just crazy back then. And this is one of the biggest rivalries ever, man. It's just, this is interesting that now they're in the playoffs because of the wild card. And I left it at that. That was quick. I took into consideration that he doesn't have a whole lot of time to sit around and have a full-blown conversation about it, right? And then he talked to me for another 30 seconds or so, and he had to go, right? And who knows? Next time I go to that place, because I respected his wishes and communicated with him effectively and, in quick ways and respectfully, who knows, right? Who knows what comes out of it, right? Used to be back in the days, the managers would come out and talk with you for 20 or 30 minutes. Now, it's interesting, there's a restaurant that I've gone to with some of my exes that has some slow periods. And there's a really cool manager at this particular restaurant, and he would just come out and talk with us for 20 or 30 minutes. That's very rare. But again, you have to just adapt to the situation. Everybody's different, and not everyone is going to have the time or going to be able to, talk with you for that long. And I think a lot of women nowadays are struggling with the online dating world aspect of meeting people in person. They want to rush through the first part of the process of, connecting online. But when it comes to meeting the guy in person, even if they feel something, they want to slow it down. And that's just not natural, right? Because let's say there was no online dating. And, the man and woman I was talking about earlier that I'm going to be doing a story on from the studio later on tonight, let's say they met in person the first time and not online. Okay, it would have been different because they would be two strangers where one would have to approach the other and strike up a conversation. How would that woman have responded at that point? Like she put in the posting. Is he moving too fast? Or does she have issues, right? If somebody approached her in person, would she just not even give the guy a chance? Would she brush him off because of those issues? Even if she was single and she was attracted to him? Is she using the online world as a crutch? Okay. I saw this guy's pictures. I liked his profile. We communicated through the app. We talked by phone. And he seems cool and I'm happy. So now I feel comfortable enough meeting him now. And now I'm just going to meet him and I'm just going to take it really, really slow. Ladies, you have to learn to adapt. The reason why you ladies are getting, passed up or left behind or, not getting to the next stage with guys is because you've got issues from the past and you're too guarded and you're not just letting the natural flow of progression do its thing. It's the bottom line. It's the bottom line. All right. I don't like a lot of things in the modern world, folks. I really don't. But I've had to learn to adapt to those things. And I've had to learn to incorporate the way I like to live life and enjoy life amongst those things. Let me give you a couple other examples here. I don't know how many of you are Costco members or Sam's Club members, right? Sam's Club and Costco, they're the same type of thing. They're a warehouse business, right? It's like going to a Costco and they have a bunch of your favorite items, but there's one item that you really like that you can buy in bulk at Costco and you save a ton of money instead of buying it at a supermarket, right? And then all of a sudden, Costco discontinues it, right? And then they replace that item with a similar item from a different company, right? And at first you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go now to Safeway and buy this product and pay 10 times more for it because I can't buy it in bulk at Costco anymore. But they do have an alternative product. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give it a chance, right? You know, we've all gone to our favorite stores and we're used to getting a particular item for a long time, and then that item gets discontinued and more than likely gets replaced by something else, right? I used to be that way myself, and it used to bother me. Like, damn, I love this item, right? But even now in these situations, I've learned to adapt. I've learned that even more so nowadays in the modern world, things change much more quickly. And I've also learned to not get attached to any particular item. I've also learned if I like a particular item, I'm going to stock up on it in bulk. I do that on Amazon, you know, with certain items that, you know, are unique items that should not be unique items. They should be regular everyday items, but I know these are unique items and they may not be around for a while, so what do? Instead of buying one quantity, I buy 20. And I have enough to last me for 3 or 4 years. And then who knows? Around, and you know, if it gets discontinued or goes out of stock for a long time, at some point before I run out, it may come back into stock, or there may be a similar item that works just as good that comes out, right? But I've learned to adapt. And that's what I want to teach you folks, to learn to adapt to the way things are nowadays. Another thing, you know, we've all to learn to adapt regarding, you know, COVID-19, right? For many people, it took them a long time to adapt. For me, I never really let it bother me in the first place. I took precaution. Even before vaccines came out and I was vaccinated, I was still going out and doing the same things. I was just wearing masks where necessary, and where they weren't, I wasn't. But there were so many people that overly freaked out over it that they wouldn't even leave the house, right? Even though they were saying, hey, you know what? You should go out there on the hiking trail and breathe in the fresh air. And if it would make you feel more comfortable, you can wear a mask. But even back in those days, when masks were required everywhere, now they're only required in certain counties by mandate of the county. Even back in those days, I didn't wear a mask on the trail. I just distanced myself from the other people. And I would only go with friends or other people that I knew, you know, were safe to be around. You know, I learned to adapt to it, right? And I think one of the things right now that's happening is many people are still struggling to adapt to, you know, the COVID-19 thing. And it's pretty much, to be honest with you folks, we're pretty much I'd say within the next 6 months to a year, we're pretty much going to be as protected from this virus as we will ever be. I saw the numbers the other day. I think we are 57 or 58% fully vaccinated. We're just under 60% fully vaccinated in the US. And I think it may even take another 6 months, at least, maybe even a year, to get to 70%. Why? Because now we're getting into those alt-right people that are anti-jab, like they say, or, anti-vaccine, which, I mean, no one's going to force you to take it. But unless it affects you, unless there's a side effect that could affect your life, you should take it. That's just my opinion. It does not exist in nature. What do you mean, Queen? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. It's really just unbelievable to me how 1/4 of the population that completely goes against the positive agenda of the other 3/4 can affect the entire population. It's just insane how the alt-right really affects everybody. And they're just about 25%, 20 to 25% of the population here in the US. And again, why do they affect everybody? Because they're the most active on social media. And why are they the most active on social media? Because a lot of these people, with no disrespect, are either not working, they're on disability, they have limited work schedules, they have a lot of free time on their hands, and they're miserable. So a lot of the times they come out on the internet to just, try to cure their misery. A lot of these people are uneducated, right? They're uninformed. They're just lashing out because they're unhappy with their life. It's pretty sad. But yeah, around 25% of the population here in the US, because of how they think and how they try to spread this stuff around on the internet, they affect the entire population. It's a beautiful, beautiful day out here today. I'll tell you this, folks, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff for the rest of this walk. Probably got another maybe 25, 30 minutes on the walk. It took me a while to adapt to this modern world, and I had to go through a lot of things to really, really understand it. And had I not decided to come out here on YouTube almost 5 years ago and started this coaching business on a former channel I used to run, and had I not experienced everything I've experienced with trolls and haters and radical conservatives and alt-right people, right? And been through all that, I probably would have still been trying to figure out how to adapt to this modern world. Because I would not have known as much as I know now, right? when I was growing up, I grew up in a, liberal household. Not, my family, we're registered Democrats, but we're more so down the middle, all of us. We're more so like neither left or right, but if we had to identify ourselves, we're slightly probably more on the left. We are registered Democrats, so I guess that doesn't make us liberals. But my family has always been about what's best for everyone as a whole, right? What's best for all Americans, like Joe Biden says, not just the left or the right. Okay? And I grew up in a household that was, and I'm not going to lie, even when my dad was around, he was very anti-conservative. He just didn't like the way the conservatives were doing things, most things. Some things he was okay with, like me, right? And that's the environment I grew up in. But I would ask as a little kid, why are the conservatives? Why are they bad? Why are they this and that, right, Dad? And oh, son, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just know that you're Democrat, and Greeks are Democrats, right? That's all I would hear, right? And my dad understood politics a lot more than he cared to explain, but he just didn't want to traumatize me, or he didn't want to, skew my mind, right? So I grew up not really understanding, the other side of the political party spectrum, the conservatives and how they think, right? But then some other things changed, even over the last 10 to 15 years. You have these alternative, political parties like the alt-right now, right? The Trump supporters, the Retrumplicans, or the Patriot Party, right? And they haven't been really branded into an actual political party, but that's what the media, the online media at least, labels these groups, right? And had I not spent the time I did on YouTube, even going back and forth with lots of these people, and being attacked by them every single night on live stream panels, I would have never learned to understand this. And now understanding this has allowed me to come at it with a level of peace and understanding, and adapt to it. I've learned to adapt to how everybody is, regardless of your political party views, etc., right? Regardless of how the modern world has become, the dating world, the business world, social media, mainstream media, regardless of all this stuff, I've learned to adapt to it. And I've also learned to not let it consume me, and most importantly, I have learned to not let it trigger me. I used to get triggered. Like, let me give you an example. Like last night, the woman I've been seeing is a very big Giants fan, and so am I. And, she's just like a year younger than me. She's 46, I'm 47. When the Giants lost, she got pretty triggered. Now, I can understand that you're a lady, ma'am. If you're watching, I get it, right? But I was all calm, and she's asking me, how are you so calm? How are you so relaxed? And I told her, I said, you know what? I'm a grown-ass 47-year-old man. I'm tired of BS. I'm tired of drama. I'm tired of just wasting energy foolishly. I'm getting older, and I want to conserve as much of my energy as possible for positive, fun things, right? Yeah, the Giants lost. The umps were horrible. Maybe the game was rigged. We can sit here and let it bother us all night, or enjoy a little more time together before we part ways for the night and until we see each other the next time we see each other. In my younger days, I used to get super triggered when anything didn't go my way. Even when anyone on my sporting teams, whether it was football, baseball, basketball, the Warriors, the A's, the Giants, the Niners, any game they would lose, I would get triggered. I would yell at the TV. I just allowed it to ruin my day. And I've gotten to the point in my life now where I'm older. I don't have. I'm not, how to say this the right way. When you get older, your body parts don't work the same, no matter how good your shape is, right? And no matter how good of shape you're in, you get tired a lot quicker than you did when you were younger. So I try to conserve as much energy every day as possible to be able to have more energy every day to focus on positive things. That's the way I look at things. That's the way I look at everything. Then I always look at it that way. And even just last year, or a year and a half ago, before I really started to figure out this online YouTube game and all that, I was still getting triggered and wasting energy. Like I said, being out here on YouTube and social media and the experiences I had allowed me to learn all sides of the spectrum. And I've learned to adapt to the way society is regarding all sides of the spectrum, even if it's not the side I want to be on or I am on. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful day out here today. It's a great Friday, folks. Absolutely gorgeous. There's the observation deck at the other side. I'm going to go to the other side. You see, you can see it. You can see the observation deck from the other side, even though I probably still have a good, maybe not quite a half a mile, but a little more than a quarter mile to get to the entrance and then to go to the other side. But you can see the observation deck. Maybe you can even see it on the screen. It's probably pretty tiny because it's, the camera is going to make things a little tinier than my eyes can see it. So what do you folks have planned for the weekend? Anyone in the chat have anything planned for the weekend? I don't have any plans for right now. I may possibly go hiking tomorrow, but I'm not quite sure yet. If I don't go hiking tomorrow, I'm just going to do a couple of walks and create some more videos for you folks. I'm trying to get used to this schedule of this woman I've been seeing. She works in retail management, and I used to do that, and our schedules are different. And I'm totally understanding to that, ma'am. I am totally understanding to it. I've just got to get used to it because I did retail for 17 years. Retail management, retail corporate. And man, let me tell you, there are no 2 days of the week that I feel better than on Saturdays and Sundays. Friday nights too. That's just me. And man, don't overthink this, because you like to overthink everything. Doesn't change anything at all with us. I'm sure I'll hear about it later tonight anyway. That's the way it goes. Just the way it goes. I wonder, is that a duck or an egret? It looks white. I can't tell. But it's just floating. It might be a duck. I don't even know if egrets can actually float in the water. Maybe they can. Is that duck, is that even moving? It's moving slowly. I think it may be shallow there, so it may be just walking in the water. Eddie Money style. Well, if I could walk on water. I'm not going to sing that again today. Whew. Yeah, the beginning of this show really, it really took a lot out of me because, what the hell was that? Was that guy's horn over there on a bike passing people? It had to be. Almost kind of sounded like a duck calling. I looked over there and that bike was passing some people on the other trail over there. Maybe I'll go do that trail tomorrow if I'm around and not going hiking. Why would you have a horn on your bike that sounds like a duck calling? Queen is, oh, Lewis Fuller is laughing. Did you hear that? Whack. Lewis, did you hear that? Anyway, like I said, the first part of the show really took a lot out of me because I'm just so tired of all the fake drama people instigate, right? All the fake interviews people do, right? In my opinion, I'm even, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm thinking that whole interview with Dr. Sanjay Gupta, the CNN medical correspondent, he's been the CNN medical correspondent for ages. Good friends with Chris Como and family. I mean, I'm even beginning to think, like I said, that was fabricated. And he was probably encouraged to go on there on the Joe Rogan show by CNN, no matter what happens. I will give you this, Queen. I will give you this. It seems like these cable news networks have become more of a drama shit show, whether they're accurately depicting the news or not. They got big caps, breaking news. Everything is breaking news. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. What the hell's not breaking news? Breaking news. Former President Bill Clinton's in the hospital. Okay, and he's doing okay. Breaking news, right? That was a bee on the trail. It just went right in the middle of the trail and walked right around it. Not gonna disturb you, little bee. I don't want you to sting me. It would hurt like a mother. I haven't been stung by a bee in, gosh, decades. Lewis, when was the last time you got stung by a bee? Lewis, don't tell me you're allergic to bee stings. Maybe Queen is, who knows? Lewis says, it sounds like a duck farting. All right, Lewis. Lewis says, yes. Frito will end up at Gitmo next. Sorry, it comes out that way with breaking news. Well, Queen, when everything is labeled as breaking news, what's really breaking news and what isn't, right? You're talking about it comes out that way, meaning that even CNN and Fox News and all these large news organizations are more of a drama show than a news show. That's what it's becoming. It's becoming more of a drama shit show than a professional news environment. And these cable companies, these cable networks, Fox News and CNN, Cable News Network, CNBC and all of them, when they first came out, they weren't presenting their material like this. It's been, now there was some material, like the Chris Hansen stuff and all that, right? But correct me if I'm wrong, over the last 5 to 10 years, the instigated drama through these mainstream media cable news networks has like skyrocketed because they're now trying to compete with alternative media such as YouTube and other alt-right and conservative content creators, right? That are destroying their audience because of the stuff they're talking about, right? Which I feel is stuff that's hogwash in my opinion, but that's just my opinion, you know? I'm going to go to the other side. I've been walking every day, folks, at least 3, almost 4 miles, if not more than 4 miles. And I'm really beginning to feel my stomach getting toned and tight again. I'm burning that 5 pounds of fat I gained while I was bulking up. I feel my body getting stronger. That's all you have to do, folks. Is get out and take a walk every day. If you're a YouTuber, you know, get a cheap selfie stick like this on Amazon for like $14 and go out and do mobile live streams from a walk every day. Walk 3-4 miles and engage your audience. You're going to engage your audience and get in shape at the same time and be healthy. Beautiful. All right, let's go to the other side here. Folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in. We're going to be going off the air in about 15 to 20 minutes. Friday end of the week. It ended up being a pretty productive week for me with some of the changes I made and not doing the long 2 to 3 hour live streams from the studio that I've been doing for a while. I'll be honest, like I enjoy those, but they were really starting to burn me out, and they're starting to lose some traction. And so, you know, when the numbers change, when things shift, you gotta make some changes and focus on things that are gonna move the needle forward or get you back in the right direction. So I've been doing pre-recorded videos, and I'm going to be putting on another one tonight, like I mentioned at the beginning of this stream. It's going to be an interesting story. These videos are going to be no longer than 35 minutes each. Let's come down here again. And if I need more time on any particular topic than 35 minutes, I'll break up the video into 2 parts or as many parts as necessary. But I'm trying to give you folks at least one piece of pre-recorded content every day, if not at least 5 days a week. And at some point, I'm going to get on a schedule, and I'm going to start to batch record these videos, like in one day. I'll record like 5 of them or 7 of them in one day, and then get them uploaded and just, you know, publish one every day. I mean, that's the way to do it, folks. Batch recording is the way to go. Unfortunately, that day where I batch record them, I may not be able to do a live stream. I guess what I'm trying to do, folks, is I'm trying to give you folks as much of me as possible every day. And one of the main reasons is because I really want as many people to find out about me. I want to get some more traction so people can find out about me, and then I can maybe scale back a little bit and get more of these people into the subreddit group, the Real Emotional Support subreddit group. Link is below in the description, a couple lines down, and focus more time on helping people there, all right? So a lot of people, again, may be asking, you know, why are you creating so much content, Eli? Why don't you just scale back a bit? Well, I'm trying to put out as much content as possible because that gives you a better chance of being discovered by more people. And I want to help a lot more people than the amount of people that have discovered me so far. Right here, the sun is right on me, but because of the water and the slight wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour, it's a nice breeze. I could literally sit here for like half an hour and not get bored and just take it all in. Beautiful. I think those are egrets. All right, we're gonna, well, the other side's all dried up. It's all marshy. Let me just come over here for a second. shot right there. All right, let's go to the end over here by the observation deck. A little less than a quarter mile away. Chill up there for a little bit and head back and start wrapping things up. If you're just joining me and you haven't been around for a while, these Walking with Purpose streams, like I said a few days ago when I was announcing the changes to my channel, are going to be more, chill streams that are going to have a topic, but they're also going to be, partially hanging out with my audience and just talking about whatever, maybe some current events and other stuff. It's kind of like a hanging out with Coach Eli. And if people pop on in with any questions while we're live, we'll be happy to answer their questions too. Sometimes not saying anything is like saying a lot because you can just enjoy the silence. I'm actually at a loss for words right now. Like, the way I'm feeling right now is almost like speechless. And I think the reason why I feel that way is because of what I said at the beginning of the show, which I still, stand by. I'm just really tired of how, things are nowadays on social media or in this world where it's all about just making stuff up, and running fake interviews and, doing things that appear real to just get everyone to tune in. Like, again, I think the Dr. Sanjay Gupta interview on Joe Rogan was endorsed by CNN. I don't think Dr. Sanjay Gupta would have gone on to Joe Rogan's show, knowing how despicable Joe Rogan is, in my opinion, how ruthless he is and inconsiderate he is about anything besides getting ratings, right? I don't think Dr. Sanjay Gupta would have gone on there without the blessing or endorsement of CNN. Hence, all staged, right? Queen, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's a possibility, or anyone else here, that heard about the interview that Joe Rogan did with Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN medical correspondent? Do you think there's a possibility, Queen, that it was staged by CNN and Joe Rogan and Spotify as a cross-promotion opportunity? That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because I don't think Dr. Sanjay Gupta would put his job on the line with CNN. That's probably paying him a lot more money than he's making as a doctor. And he's probably doing well as a doctor, but being the chief medical correspondent on one of the largest news networks in the world, you think he would risk that? No, this was fabricated. This was planned. It's all hogwash to gain traction, stir up the drama pot, and get more eyes on each other's content and sell more commercials, right? More sponsorships, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Eli, you can't stop people for telling the truth because it's spreading like wildfire. That's not what I asked you, Queen. I respect what you say, Queen. I asked you specifically, do you think that the Dr. Sanjay Gupta interview with Joe Rogan was staged between CNN, Spotify, Gupta, and Rogan? Because again, why would Gupta go do that on his own and talk smack about a company that's probably paying him way more money than he's making the doctor to be their chief medical correspondent? Come on, Queen. Seriously, this is all fabricated. It's hogwash. And then you have channels out here on YouTube that do these stories like the Quartering that I respect, but the Quartering. Whoa, hey, this is Jeremy here from the Quartering, and today I'm going to talk about how Joe Rogan just destroyed Dr. Sanjay Gupta of CNN. Right? Come on, dude. You know it's hogwash, Jeremy. You're just trying to get a piece of the views and monetization action, right? This is what happens here, folks. These are the people that are making money on the internet. The phony balonies are making the money. The phony balonies. I was starting to watch it until you went live. Okay, Queen, that's all good. So you're saying that you don't have an opinion about whether you feel the Gupta Rogan interview was staged or not by CNN, Spotify, and the gentleman and any other parties involved. I barely watched any of it. I've seen maybe 10 minutes of it, some clips, right? And who knows? Maybe now I might be intrigued to go back and watch it if I can find the full version somewhere without having to pay Spotify. Maybe I will watch it later tonight because I'm very intuitive. I can tell if something is staged or not. Folks, I'm really not trying to sound angry or bitter. I'm not. I just don't like how phony baloney many things are nowadays. I value realistic things. I value good, wholesome people that don't have to attack others and harm others and go against others just to be successful or popular or to feel good about themselves. I've never been able to live my life that way. All right, let's start walking back so I can get back home, and I'm going to quickly record that video and then take the rest of the night off and relax. Let me just come over here for a second. So nice. I got to come out here and shoot footage over here up close in 4K at 60 frames per second. Maybe I just come out here and I sit down on the bench and do a video. I mean, I'll do a walk afterwards, but I'll just sit down and do a video and use this as a background. I think it would be beautiful, and the sounds would be incredible too. What have we been on for? An hour and 40 minutes. Got 13 in the box. Wow. All right, folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. I'm going to be going off the air in just about 10 minutes or less. Just heading towards the exit. Did about 4 miles today of walking. Feel real good. I think that same guy that was walking the other side is walking here. He must be doing like 10 miles a day. He's wearing a mask though. Like I feel very confident in the Pfizer vaccine, the 2-dose Pfizer vaccine I took. I have had absolutely no issues. I have not been sick. I've just been feeling normal like I always have before this pandemic happened a couple years back. I still have allergies. That's what I mean. The allergies are the only thing that have been affecting me. And they affect everybody that's allergic to that stuff, right? That has allergies, right? Like you, right, Lewis? But yeah, I have confidence in the virus. I have confidence in the people that are trying to get the right information out to get everyone vaccinated. I have confidence even in our president, Joe Biden, even though, some people that just are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum make fun of him all day. I'm not even talking about you, Queen. I'm saying other people. They make fun of the guy. They call him senile. They call him old man, or they talk smack about him, right? Oh, sorry. There's a bug on my camera, on my phone. They were kind of a pain in the butt this morning, but they are okay now. The allergies, that's good, Lewis. Yeah, but Queen, what she put out there is like a conspiracy theory, right? I mean, I don't know if you've seen Queen and Lewis and anyone else, but the number of deaths are going down again. The number of deaths continue to go down from the virus as more people get vaccinated. So I just don't understand how anything the other side is saying that the opposite is happening when the numbers show otherwise. I don't understand, right? And I'm not even trying to take sides here. I'm just saying the numbers speak for itself or for themselves. Another beautiful plane. It's Friday. A lot of planes come back from Southern California. Once the work weekend's down there, I guess some guys work down there. They have a private jet or plane, and they fly into San Carlos Airport. They live out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. They work in Southern California or somewhere along the way down south. This perspective is interesting over here. It's on the other side. So you get more of a wide angle shot of these planes landing. I can still see that plane from here. It's just awesome. folks. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this baby up. So, again, tonight I'm going to be doing a video from the studio, pre-recorded, regarding a woman that went on the date and posed the question, is he moving too fast? And I can't remember the exact word she used. I mentioned at the beginning of this show, it was something along the lines of, is he moving too fast, or is there something wrong with me? Something to that extent. And the short end of the answer is, there's something wrong with you, ma'am. You just haven't worked through your past issues. But we'll go into more detail tonight. I'll show you folks how the men and women responded to this in the forum, right? And how misleading other people can be to people like this woman that really are truly trying to ask a question. Was he moving too fast? Or is this something wrong with me? Because like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream here, she probably has experienced this many times. She's probably met several guys over the last 6 months, and every time she likes the guy, he tries to kiss her on the first date, and she backs off, even though she likes the guy, right? When the truth of the matter is, attraction's either going to be there from the moment you lay eyes on each other or never be there. Trust me, if women are physically attracted to you, they want to bang you more than you want to bang them. Trust me. That's how it's happened with me every time. Look, guy, listen. Those are just the facts. I'm not saying that, the women that wanted to bang me more than I wanted to bang them, I didn't want to bang. No, I did. I liked them too. But here's the thing. When a woman is when she's into you, she's not going to be able to resist you even the first time you meet. She's going to try to get close to you. She's going to be drawn to you like a fucking magnet. Right? If that's not happening, it's never going anywhere. Right? It's the law of attraction. No attraction. Attraction's either there or it's not. There's no in between. Attraction is instant or it's not there. Attraction is a must, not a choice. If you try to make it a choice or slow it down, you're just wasting each other's time. And most men like myself, we come across a woman that's guarded like this, she's either really not into us or she's just not ready. Either way, nothing's ever going to happen. So, okay, have a nice day, right? But this guy in this posting that this woman mentioned actually was telling her about what she was doing. And it's comical because he was right, and she didn't like it. I'll share more about that once I release that video from the studio later tonight. Hopefully I'll get it done in one part. Who knows? I may end up doing it in 2 parts if there are a lot of great comments. I mean, I went through the first maybe 50 comments. But if there are more great comments than that, I'll check that out when I get back home. I may do 2 parts. It all depends. But more than likely just 1 part on this pre-recorded video. I have a lot more pre-recorded videos with other stories like this, folks. I'm going to start sharing more scenarios that people are going through from Reddit and other forums, right? And dissecting them. And then also sharing with you folks what other people in the comments section or sections are saying to these people, which is completely the opposite of the right thing. Especially women saying, oh, it's the guy's fault. No. The girl here, ma'am, is just not ready. She's not in a good place to date. Attraction's either there from the very beginning or it never is there. This guy felt a connection. She seemed like she was feeling a connection, so he went in for the kiss, and she denied him. So he questioned it, as any guy would. And then the woman comes out on Reddit and makes a posting on it. Come on, if the woman didn't feel anything or care about this guy, she wouldn't have made a posting on it. These postings on Reddit, I more so believe they're real because this is what I like about Reddit is it's a site that's raw and real. People go out there anonymously to ask legitimate questions because they're trying to turn their lives around. They just don't want people to know who they are because they don't want to feel awkward, right? That's what I like about Reddit. But anyway, folks, I'm going to wrap this up. Man, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat after this 4+ mile walk. Definitely going to eat before I do that video. Who knows? Maybe if I have the energy, I'll do 2 pre-recorded videos and release another one tomorrow morning. All right, folks. Appreciate you all being here. Queen, Helen Casey, and Lewis Fuller, and anyone else that was watching behind the scenes. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss a single thing. Have yourselves a great one. See you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye. We're out. Peace out. Where are we? Holy moly, I can't even see a thing here. There we are. We're out.